am at JFK Airport right now, and I'm just tired and sweaty, and I'm running on fumes here. And I think I'm gonna do the overview later. So I think we can get a better one when I'm not. So I think I'll check in with you after the gig. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, some time has passed, and I'm feeling a lot better than I did that morning at JFK. So I figured, took my notes there at the airport, and I can read them now. But first, a little just kind of rundown of why I was feeling so down. So I booked a gig the night before that went till like 3:30 in the morning, which, considering when I had to be at the airport the next day, possibly ill-advised. Like maybe if I got right to sleep when I got home and just slept straight through, I would have enough time to get almost a decent night's sleep, but that's just not how it works. So I was on the fence, like, should I book a gig that Friday? And part of me wanted to say no. I want to be well rested. I want to be feeling good going into it, so I can be confident and optimistic and crush that gig. But the other half of me said, well, if I don't have a gig, I don't have anything booked to DJ during the week, that week. I did end up picking something up, but at the time, that would have been the first time I had DJ'd that week, just jumping on at peak hour. That didn't sit right with me. I like to be a little more warmed up. I like to be a little more practiced, even if it's from the night before. You can have that momentum. You can feel a little more at home on the decks, which is where I wanted to be. So I took that gig, and it went till 3:30, and it was at one of my usual spots. I was like, this one's going to set me up great. I'm going to feel awesome going into this Saturday day gig, because this is a spot I know I can crush. However, it's a weird night. It's a weird night with a weird crowd. And, you know, I had a good set, but I felt like I couldn't get them. Couldn't get them where I wanted to, and where I was usually able to. And I got compliments from the staff and stuff. Like, I felt other people liked the gig, but I didn't feel like I really, it was a highlight of my career. So, you know, I was just laying in bed like, man, did I fuck this up? Am I losing? Am I losing my edge? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys have the same kind of anxiety sometimes when you don't have a stellar gig. So mentally, that's where I was, trying to hurry up and sleep before I had to wake up and go to the airport. So it's a recipe for lousy sleep and a recipe for a lousy mood the next morning. So yeah, got to the airport just feeling shit out of luck. However, the airplane ride was nice. It was nice seeing those mountains, and Seattle's a cool town. I gotta say, I'd never been there before. I did not have time to stay an extra day this time, but I absolutely intend to in the future. That was a cool town with a cool vibe, and by the time I got to the gig, I was actually feeling really good. So here's my usual rundown stuff. I got a good summary of what it was all about going in from one of the residents, Akira, who I'd been in contact with leading up to the gig, and he basically told me it was very similar to what he had heard me do, because he had visited me one time back in Milwaukee when I was playing at Brothers, and he said if I played like that, it would be great. It's EDM leaning in that it's EDM pop bootleg type stuff, like sing-alongs with big drops, but they also do like hip-hop, trap, club shit like that. So right in my wheelhouse. Hardware-wise, we had CDJ 3000s and an S9, which is wonderful. I really couldn't ask for more than that. Love the 3000s, love the S9. Actually, like the S9 more than the S11. Like, I never felt like I needed a screen on my mixer. I kind of prefer the minimal layout of the S9. So I was right at home on that. Done a lot of gigs on the S9. And well, I'm not going to spoil how it went. We can get into that later after you've seen the clips. So let's check it out. All right, so now I am in Seattle, and I'm actually feeling pretty invigorated. There were some awe-inspiring mountain views on the plane on the way here, and the city is gorgeous. Just pine trees and mountains, and they got a pretty nice train actually, going right from the airport to the downtown. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I dig it here. I think it's gonna be a good night. You know, meet up with some friends, get some food before the gig, get myself fed because I'm starving, and hopefully this second wind carries me through the night. Feeling optimistic. I'd also like to add that it's super nice out today, which I think is a good thing for the club, and a good thing for everybody.
Seattle, how we feeling tonight? 1, 2, 3, let's go!
So I'm happy to tell you the gig went well. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I was glad to have been out there. I wish I had taken a couple extra days to go out to Seattle. I didn't realize how many DJs I was familiar with were out in Seattle, actually. I didn't realize Seattle was such a cool city, actually. I had always heard of it as like this iconic American city, but you go in there, it's so distinctive. It's so distinctive and so cool. So I'm looking forward to the next time I get out that way. But yeah, shout out to Akira and Brandon, Rise Over Run. They opened up the room and closed it for me, and they did a great job. They're great dudes, good hanging with them, good talking shop with them. Always love connecting with like-minded DJs. Also shout out to Kyle Juarez and his wife, I forget her name, I feel bad. But they came in from a nearby market to catch my set. It was cool meeting them. Awesome people. And congrats to Kyle on an awesome career. Dude's been working a good paying residency for 15 years now. 15 years. And it's got the flexibility. You can take time off and do weddings and school dances when that's the season. And he's got goats and ducks at his house. And that's not the dream, I don't know what is. So anyway, had good company. Shout out to Anthony, the owner. And congrats on 20 years of being open. That's the reason I was out there, actually. It's their big 20-year anniversary bash. It's windy as shit. The big 20-year anniversary bash, apparently for once a year, they kind of bring in a traveling DJ to come and do a headlining set for this party. And I was glad to be a part of this year's. So I got on at 11:45, and Rise Over Run, Akira and Brandon, opened up the room for me, and they said, just to warn you, like, we like to go pretty hard right from the gate. Like, they said it's not gonna exactly be an opening set. And I was like, that's fine. That's fine, we can hit the ground running. Like, I'm not that worried. Like, I gave them a couple songs because they asked for them not to touch, just because they were parts of routines that I thought might fit the vibe there. And being kind of somebody that they brought in as a guest DJ, I'd like to hit some of my signature routines, give them something they're not, they don't hear all the time. But otherwise, I was like, yeah, do your thing. Like, I feel like the traditional, like, opening DJ vibe is not so much the thing anymore. Like, I think modern audiences aren't really expecting that and don't really get that. When they get to the club and they're just, like, taking it super easy, a lot of them kind of want to party early. At least at certain places. Obviously, there's still a place for an opening DJ. And I'm not one of the, I don't even want to be a part of that argument. All I'm going to say is this night, I was fine with them going nuts. So they hit the ground running. They were banging them out. But I'm not really worried about that because each DJ is going to play different songs. So even though they might hit some of my peak hour records, it's also going to be cool because I'm going to hear some different stuff that I might not think to play. And they did. It was cool. They had a great set. And it was about what I was expecting the room to be all about, which is awesome. So I jumped on at 11:45. My plan going in was to play something different than they were playing at the moment, to kind of differentiate my set and be like, okay, this is the guy that was on the flyer from New York. So my plan was, if they were playing hip hop or reggaeton or whatever at the time, I would jump on with a big EDM intro. And if they were playing EDM at the time, I would jump on with this intro edit of Fiend that I have. It's like kind of extra epic and has some booms and stuff in the beginning so I can do mic work. And that's what I did. And I know Fiend, like, it's not a new song anymore, but I don't think anything's like taken its place. Like, I don't think we have a newer version of Fiend that hits that vibe. And I definitely don't want to play something old. Like, I want to come on with like Mo Bamba. And I don't want to start with Not Like Us, because it's such an iconic, like, year-old kind of vibe now. Maybe, what's that? Has it been a year? Something like that. I don't know. It felt like the natural choice for jumping on big hip-hop intro. So, jumped on with Fiend, but I knew that where they were at the moment, they were preferring the EDM. So the plan was to jump on with Fiend and then hit a transition edit and get right back into EDM from there. So I hit Fiend, and then I had a transition edit of All I Do Is Win. Now, I would not want to play that song even through an entire verse at this point when I was establishing what I was all about. It's kind of played out. There's nothing wrong with that song, but I don't want that to be a big part of my introduction to the crowd. But what it did do is it did, everybody put your hands up one time, and then built back down to 128 and hit an EDM drop. And it was barely any vocal from that actual track. So it got the job done, got me back down, and I got right back into hitting them with some tech house and some big room. And that was going over great, basically over the course of the night. Just doing the thing you do. You ride the waves of energy. You blast them with some EDM drops for a while and some sing-alongs, and then Once you start getting diminishing returns on that, you either build up and fold down from 140, 145, or you transition your way down to 95 or 100. You hit some hip hop, you hit some pop originals, you hit some other stuff, and then you build your way back up. Once you've had enough of that, hit them with some more EDM bangers. It's not rocket science. And it was a lot of fun. Like, they said going in, like, a lot of throwback tracks are going to be big. That's just what they've been liking lately. And that's kind of been a trend everywhere. So I played 11:45 till 2, and then Rise Over Run, jumped back on, and closed out the night. And it's great hearing how they closed it out. I'm always, whenever there's a closing DJ, I know that, at least when I would close, I would listen and be like, what are the big songs this guy's forgetting? What are they? You know, he's playing a couple hours of what he perceives to be peak hour, but I think he's going to miss something. You know what it was? It was Nokia. Currently the #1 song on Spotify. Currently a song I was really looking forward to playing. But what happened was I was looking forward to it too much, and I valued it too much. I was thinking, this is a natural like transition from 126 down to 105. A real get out of jail free card, I guess. And I was like, once I get there, once I've overstayed my welcome in up-tempo music for too long, I can just hit this and get out. Big song, brings me back down to 105, and I can hit some different stuff from there. But what happened is I just saved it all night. Didn't end up playing it. So they got on like 2 songs later. There was Nokia, and I was like, shit, of course. And it was great to hear it. It's a fun song. So let's get into what worked and what didn't. So, what worked? Pop EDM bootlegs. Like, couldn't get enough of these. Just pop vocals they love, the sing along, and the big drop. It's so functional right now, and I really got the job done. Couldn't miss with that kind of thing. Let's get a little more specific. Icona Pop, I love it. I just hit the original, and it was huge. What else we got? Love Sosa. Great throwback track. Love Chief Keef. Love that that's stood the test of time. I was a big fan of that back when it was new, and I love having it as part of the modern nightlife repertoire. Chief Keef in general. I think I played my bootleg of Don't Like as well. That went over really well. Tremor. I hit the original version of Tremor. I forget what inspired that. Usually I'd hit like a remix or something. I was in like a little throwbacky EDM section, and I was like, let's sing a little classic OG Tremor. Went over great. Not Like Us and TV Off, the 2 Kendrick Drake hating songs. Stronger than ever, at least here. And a lot of my gigs in New York, those are really starting to lose a lot of traction and becoming kind of B-tier songs. But quite often when I'm on the road in different markets, they're bigger than they've ever been. I guess a lot of these songs need some time to kind of reach their peak. I was just talking to Dirty Lou at Club Killers about this actually. And he was talking about how like when songs peak in terms of like the downloads they get on the site. And it's definitely not right away. It's not even in the first month. A lot of these songs, you know, 3 months in or even 9 months in, that's when they're getting their most downloads, because that's when everybody's aware of them, and that's when they're hitting the hardest. It just takes the public a while to really all learn songs these days, I guess. So, Not Like Us and TV Off hit about as big as they ever had for me. And then Don't Tell 'Em. So, you know what it is? Don't Tell 'Em reminds me of this. So culturally, it's my understanding that Seattle has a lot in common with California. And like West Coast shit, Bay Area, music, you know, whatnot. That it's related to that, which I don't know a lot about the West Coast. I've only been out there a handful of times. But that could actually kind of explain the extra enthusiasm for the Kendrick and the next song, Don't Tell 'Em, which it's a good throwback song. I did not expect it to get as big of a reaction as it did. I have an edit that just goes, it's just the intro synth, and then it goes right into the just got a missed call from your bitch part, and then it's a chorus and gets off it. So it's real quick, right to that sing-along part, which was the big sing-along part back when that song was new. Of course, we did not, at least I did not have an edit that got right to that part. I was just playing it and waiting. So that's how I DJ'd back then. I was not quick mixing shit. We were hearing 2.5, 3, 4 minutes of a song a lot of the time. And it worked back then. Doesn't anymore though, that's for sure. So yeah, Don't Tell 'Em was big. So what didn't work? Now, Pursuit of Happiness. It sucked, it fell flat. And what had happened was there was a kind of a central group in the middle of the dance floor. It was just rocking out to everything. It's like a big group of friends. And I noticed that their energy was kind of carrying the whole crowd. That they were right in the middle, and everything that they would go nuts to, kind of the people around them would feed off it and get excited. So when I saw a phone go up in that crowd, I was like, all right, where do they want us to go? And I think I was playing something somewhat different at the time, and I saw Pursuit of Happiness. I was like, oh, trying to jump up some more? Sure, I'll give them Pursuit of Happiness. It's kind of played out, and as like an out-of-town headliner, I don't really want that to be part of my set, but against my better judgment, I just threw it at them, and it sucked. It fell flat. It felt so lame. That build up. Nothing against Pursuit of Happiness. Still a good track, still has its place. I love the song, but not that night. What else sucked? Hot to Go. Yeah, it's losing traction. I know it is. But figured I'd test out the old Chapel Roan enthusiasm. There was more for Pink Pony Club. That's ended up being the long-term standout from the album. But yeah, Hot to Go, it was all right. I hit my my epic edit that just goes to the HOTTOGO and then builds up and hits the chorus and then a verse and a chorus. But I just played it through the one chorus and got off it, so wasn't the end of the world, and it was useful in helping me collect data in terms of where they were on Chapel Roan. And where they were on Chapel Roan was, yeah, we like her all right. It's not gonna be the highlight of the night, but we like her. So I had that to work with. And then what else didn't work? Evil Jordan, Playboy Cardi. Now, I think this is gonna fall into that category of songs that DJs love, because it sounds like a great club track, and it sounds like it's gonna be a highlight of the night, but it just isn't. Now, at the time, this was still on the charts, but at the time of this video, I looked on Spotify, it's not even up there anymore. But when I heard this, I was like, this is gonna be big, and it was big for me at a couple gigs. And took a chance on it. I love that intro, bam, 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 bam. You know, as a DJ, it just sounds like it should be a hit. But wasn't. It's not up to me. Again, I don't get to pick what they like. So Evil Jordan kind of fell flat. I could see some people were enthused. It was not a bomb by any means. It got a good reaction, but not a huge reaction. But you know what? I'm glad I played it anyway, because it is a current song. It's current, it's interesting, and I feel like that music needs representation. I feel like even if throwbacks are working well, we can't just play throwback sets. Like, what happens if every DJ in the country is just playing old music? What happens? What happens to new music? It never gets adopted. And then people never latch onto those as party songs, and then 10 years later, we're still playing fucking Dynamite at peak hour, you know? Do you want that? Do you want to play Dynamite? Do you want to play No Hands? You know, do you want to still be playing Mo Bamba in 2035? I know. I don't. I want to have some new songs by then, and the only way that's going to happen is if we play them. So everybody do your part and play songs like Evil Jordan. That might be a risk. You might not have played them a billion times, and you might not know that they work, but fit them in your set anyway. Do your part. So I did my part, and it was all right. It was all right. Cool song though. And I saw a couple people that were like really glad I played it. Some Playboy Cardi fans that were like, I won some respect, some specific respect from a couple people in the crowd, which is also worth a lot. And what do we got for edits that worked? I got one edit that worked. I probably shouted this out before, because I'm just in shock of how well this remix is aged. But it's the discotheque remix of Time of Our Lives, Pitbull. God damn, I was playing that back when it was a new remix, and it's come back into my rotation, and it has aged incredibly. Like, from an era where so many of the drops just sound terrible when you play them now. Like, so many of those bootlegs and stuff that I was playing back in, what was that, 2013 or whatever, when I got that one. So many of those edits from back then just sound horrible now, but this one has aged like a fine wine, and it was a joy to play. It went over really well. And that's all I got for edits. So what did we learn here? What are our takeaways? Big takeaway is that Seattle's awesome. Gorgeous city. Congrats to Trinity nightclub for being open for 20 years. For those of you that understand nightlife, it's a pretty legendary run, especially for still being at the top of their market, which they appear to be. So, congrats on that. I just had a great gig, man. Another day in the life. I love what I do.